If you were to ask someone who was the greatest player to ever put on a Pacers jersey, who would they say? Immediately the first two guys that come to my mind involved Paul George and Reggie Miller respectfully. And you can also toss in some guys like Danny Granger, maybe even Mark Jackson, as he was pretty good for that team as well. And while yes, those are great players, Hall of Fame level talents and careers, there's one thing missing from their resume. None of those guys was able to take Indiana to the championship. They was not able to lead the Pacers to the promised land and hang up a banner saying we were the champions. And that is what's going to separate this guy from the rest of the Pacers players. Not only does he have MVPs, not only does he have deep playoff runs, he also led this team to the championship and multiple times at that. What's good, family? It's your favorite cousin CJ, aka the basketball historian. And today I got for you not only the best player to ever put on a Pacers jersey, but quite possibly the greatest player to ever play for that organization. If the thumbnail and the footage in the background didn't already give it away, of course I'm talking about Mel Daniels. If you don't know who he is, that's okay, that's why you're here. Sit back, relax, and get ready to learn something. Mel Daniels was a 6'9", 221-pound center who shot right-handed and was drafted with the 9th overall pick in the 1967 NBA draft. In that same year, he was also drafted by an ABA team by the name of the Minnesota Muskies, but I couldn't find any information on what pick he went, so I'm just going to use his NBA number selection. And just as a little fun fact, he was selected by the Cincinnati Royals, which did have someone by the name of Oscar Robertson leading them. So if he would have went with them, that would have made a big three in Cincinnati of Oscar Robertson, Jerry Lucas, and Mel Daniels. If you don't know who Jerry Lucas is, I did a video on him as well. You can check that one out after you finish watching this one. Link will be in the pinned comment down below. But let's get back on topic. After he was selected in 1967, he would then go on to have a 9-year career in which he would play in 639 games, majority of which he would play in the ABA. In his final year, he did manage to play in the NBA for the New York Knicks, but that really doesn't count, as if he was in the tail end of his career and wasn't the same person as we know him was back in them Indiana days. And while playing for the Pacers, he would put up a resume that is unmatched by any other player that has ever put on that jersey, as he was a 7-time All-Star, 5-time All-ABA, won the Rookie of the Year 1967 to 68, also a member of the All-Rookie team that same year, 3-time ABA champion with 2 MVPs under his belt, and another MVP in the All-Star game, while also making the ABA All-Time team. I didn't even get into his stats yet, and he already sounds like a top 10 big man that ever played a game of basketball. And that's what I love to do on this channel. I love to get into the numbers, I love to get into the stats, because the numbers do not lie. They don't paint the full picture, but that's where your basketball IQ come in. Alright, so let's see what he was doing to get those MVPs and them championships. But before we get into all that, I just want to say that if you're enjoying the video so far, please make sure to like, comment, and or subscribe. It really helps me and the channel, and it really makes me know that you guys like this content, so please make sure to do all that. Alright, thank you. In the totality of Mel Daniels' career, he would put up averages of 18.5 points, about 15 rebounds a game, while giving you 1.8 assists, 1.5 blocks. And yeah, he did hurt you a little bit with 3 turnovers a game. However, when it came to his percentages, he will also shoot 46% from the field, 65% from the free throw line. Because even though his league had a 3-point line, he wasn't stepping foot back there. He was a real traditional big man down low. However, these stats only take into account every single game he has played, and that doesn't really do him justice. Let's take a look back at his rookie year to see was he really as dominant as that Rookie of the Year would let you out to believe. And spoiler alert, yeah, he really was. As in his rookie year, he would put up averages of 22 points, 15.5 rebounds, 1.4 assists, 3 turnovers, shooting 40% from the field and 58% from the free throw line. I really need you guys to understand how dominant that is. As a rookie coming into a professional basketball league, he would lead the league in rebounds, with 15.5, with 6 of them being on the offensive glass. So he's giving his team 6 extra possessions per game by himself. And that hard work and dedication would not go unnoticed, as he would not only make the All-Star team, but also lead his team to the playoffs, in which he would average 25 points, 16 rebounds, about 2 assists, and 3.5 turnovers in 10 games. And even though he got you slightly more turnovers, he was slightly more efficient, as his field goal percentage went up to 43% and his free throw percentage went up to 60%. So even though he didn't win a championship in his rookie year, the entire league has been put on notice that Mel Daniels is here and he was a force to be reckoned with. And what better way to show that dominance than to look at his stats when he was in his prime, as in between the years of 1968 and 1974, he would put up averages of 19.8 points, about 16 rebounds, 1.8 assists, 1.5 blocks, while only giving you 3.2 turnovers. And he has some of the best efficiency, shooting 46% from the field and 65% from the free throw line. And in the playoffs, where your legacy is on the line, where it's really time for you to show what you're made of, anybody can be great in the regular season, but only the greats can be exceptional in the playoffs. And exceptional he was, as he was his consistent self, giving you 18 points, 15 rebounds, 1.5 assists, while giving you 1 block, and his turnovers went down from 3 to 3.5 to only 2.8. And now comes one of my favorite parts about all these videos that I like to do. I like to go over their best season, and what counts towards their best season is not only how they perform individually, but how their individual performance affects the team's success overall. I know what you're thinking. From the beginning of the video, he had 2 MVPs under his belt, so you would think that one of those MVP seasons would be his best season. However, that's not how I like to look at it, as his team did not win championships when he won those MVPs. So while he was great individually, his team success didn't match the success of an MVP award. So I concluded that his best season would be the 1971 to 1972 ABA season, in which his team would go on to win 47 games and finish second in the conference. And in that regular season, he would average 19 points, 16.5 rebounds, around 2 assists, while giving you those 3 turnovers. However, this would be one of his most efficient years, as he would shoot 50% from the field and 70% from the charity stripe. And when they got to the playoffs, it was more of the same. Even though his points per game went down from 19 to 15 and his rebounds went down from 16 to 15, he was still giving you that 1.5 assists that he averaged over his career, while those 3 turnovers. Now, while it does sound like he had a slump that year, what really brings into context is the fact that he had 4 other guys on his team that were all all-star caliber players and could easily be a #1 guy in that league on their own team. So he was really doing that so the team could eat more than just himself. And boy, did they need it, because their run to the championship was far from easy, as in the Western Divisional semifinals, they would play the Denver Rockets in a 7-game series to get them boys out of here and advance to the next round. And that second round was possibly the hardest round they ever had to play, as they would face the reigning defending undisputed champions of the ABA from a season before in the Utah Stars, which took a grueling 7-game series for the Pacers to squeak out a win and punch their ticket to the ABA finals, where they would face off against the New York Nets. However, after taking care of the Nets in a 6-game series, they was able to hang up the title as the champions of the ABA season. So now, whenever you have basketball talks with your friends or anybody and they want to bring up Pacers players or old school players, you now have the knowledge. You are now informed of one of the greatest, if not the greatest player to ever put on that Pacers uniform. You're welcome. Alright family, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, and or subscribe if you haven't already. It's been your favorite cousin CJ, aka the Basketball Historian. And y'all boys stay safe out there, alright? Peace, peace.
I dried up and execute, I need a coaching job. I'm the type to help my man score, I'm finna throw the lob. These niggas ain't touching paper. They just broke and lost. In the 300, it bends the earth like I train with Todd. Historic run, not for real, I'm on a global tear. Probably think I got the game rigged, I never played it fair.